one of the things that I wanted to just talk to you about today because it's so relevant, because it's just been my life for the last few days, is how do you stick to any kind of like consistency with your food and hydration when you're traveling and eating at hotels and at airports and getting thrown from like your day-to-day routine. And so much of it is really understanding what your belief system is around traveling. Like, do you think when you go away or go on vacation that it's a time to just like indulge and totally just be free, do whatever you want, eat and drink whatever you want, because somehow you've cultivated the idea that that's what a good time is? For me, that's what it was, a long time ago too. Road trips, it was like Twizzlers and popcorn and chips and stuff like that as we were driving. And then when I was at an airport or going on, to a hotel, sorry for the noise there, I just sort of thought, oh, well, I can't do anything about this. I'm on vacation. It's not possible. And since I went through, since I sort of went through that, the journey myself, I've had to develop skills and tools to figure out how can I travel, be on the road, be in the air, be in different hotels, or I stay in other people's houses and not have myself like completely lose the plot. Because here's the thing, you can always find a justification to, overeat, overdrink, indulge. And if you travel as part of work, or if you just travel a lot with your lifestyle, then it can really have an impact on your health goals. And so one of the things that, if you have a piece of paper, write this down. One, you need to look at what you think. So, you're at the airport too. Hey, Robin, you're heading back to Boston after visiting your family in New York. Okay, so you're actually like totally in the same situation I am right now, which is, you got to take a look at, first of all, your mindset. What's your belief around it? Do you believe that it's hard? Do you believe that it's easy? Do you believe that it's possible? Do you believe that it's like denying and depriving yourself if you, don't grab the drink or the cocktail at the airport, or get the chicken fingers or whatever it is that the restaurant might be serving? Or do you just constantly look for the ways that you can do it? And that's what I do. So I do travel a fair bit. I'm on the road a ton, and some of the things that I do, especially when I leave home going to other places, is I travel with food I can count on, right? So I'm always packing at least an apple and a big bag of pre-cut vegetables. Hey, Nikki, good to see you. Yay. I'm just at the airport here, so excuse me if it's a little bit loud. So I'm optimizing, right? Part of weight loss is not just the mindset, it's optimizing your strategies so that you're never left stuck or unprepared or unplanned. Because that's where we get lost, right? I mean, if you're hungry and starving, and I guess that's the same thing, and you haven't prepped, well, then you are going to go and eat whatever. Now, I was just recounting. I had lunch at the airport, dinner at a restaurant on Friday, 3 restaurant meals on Saturday, and another restaurant meal on Sunday. I was at somebody else's house for dinner Sunday night and traveling this morning. So key strategies for me are remembering like what makes me feel good. And overeating just doesn't make me feel good. And so I'm always looking at ways to like get the vegetables in and the protein in. And I don't go crazy about it. Or if I feel like a burger, I actually, with my girlfriend, we were at the restaurant. I was like, hey, do you want to split it and have half each and get a side salad each? Because I don't, I eat whatever I want now and drink whatever I want, but I'm always conscious of how much and how often. Nikki, it's Tuesday morning. Oh, crazy, it's Monday morning. You're going to get up and go exercise soon. Nice work, lady. This is how we do it. And that's another part. So often when people go on vacation, they ditch their exercise routine, right? They don't bother. And so I always make sure that I pack my running shoes and a pair of workout gear. And, whether the hotel has a gym, I'm always able to get out and either walk or go for a quick run. And I did that every morning. I got up early every morning before I was facilitating and made sure that I got that, 45 minutes of fresh air and activity in, because otherwise I'm going to be standing or sitting all day. And then you move into team events at night often when you're working, what I do. And so so the next thing is, 1, you have to know your mindset. 2, you've got to optimize, right? You've got to optimize and plan. And so you optimize your food and you plan to make activity part of the enjoyable part of while you're traveling, not the hassle, right? If I think working out or being active is going to be a hassle, well, then I'm not going to do it. And so I have to believe it's going to be good for me, that it's going to be fun, that I can fit it in, and that I try to stick to those basics as much as possible. The other thing, like I was going back to the restaurants. Restaurants are hard. Truly, I can say that by last night, I was over restaurant food, 100%. But I tend to do things like this. I'll stay away from the really greasy rice bowls or noodle bowl dishes where it's super saucy and creamy and oily, and I'll try to find that clean protein. If it does come with carbohydrate like potatoes or french fries or rice, I'll usually ask for only half a portion, and I'll ask for a double serving of vegetables, things like that. I worked in the service industry for a long time, and so I don't have a lot of worry about asking them to kind of customize my order for me. The other thing I do in my head, we went to Milestones on Saturday night. I'm not sure where else that is, but it's in British Columbia. And when my portion came, I made the mental decision to simply eat just half of it. It was such an enormous plate of food. And so when you have to know that when something is put down in front of you, often we eat it because it's there. Even after we get full, if it's left in front of us, we'll continue to eat. Have you ever noticed that? If you have, maybe give a little thumbs up or a little nod and let me know, because that certainly happened to me. I'll be like, oh, I'm full, but I can't stop eating. And, that matters, right? Portion is what matters most when it comes to, learning how to fit food into your lifestyle and to see consistent, steady weight loss happen without living in that world of denial and deprivation. So we just wrapped up last night, actually, an 11-day event. I guess it was 13 days with our Encore weekend, where we had experts constantly talking about what it takes to get healthy. And every single one really said it's the inside game that matters most. It's what's happening up in your belief system, and it's how you treat yourself and how you approach situations and the self-talk that you have along the way. And so if your self-talk is that you're gonna let it go, that you're not gonna worry about it, that it's too hard, right? I'm kind of repeating myself there, but that's what we do. Hey, Leona, hi. I'm at the airport right now. We were a little bit late landing. And so if and hotel food, this is where a lot of people, and I was part of this. On Saturday, it had been a long day, and I hadn't, longer than I expected, and I was tired. I was just energetically, emotionally tired, and I really felt the pull of sugar. I just want that quick pick-me-up, right? And I wanted it, and so I really did have to use my self-talk to be go get water, first of all. That's, I'm traveling with a bottle of water right now. I bought one before I left the airport because I could already feel that thirst creeping in. And for me, one of my old habits was to go to Starbucks and get some sort of fancy drink. I don't do that anymore. I sure, I'll enjoy coffee every now and then, but I knew I needed water. And so when I was at the hotel on the Saturday night after a long day, the goal was to get hydrated, change, get a little bit active, and then get good food in right away. One of the things I didn't do this time that I typically do when I'm traveling, especially for 3 or 4 days, is often my first stop after I land at the airport is to something like a Whole Foods store or a grocery store, where I will go and go into the produce section, and whether I'm grabbing a few bags of mini carrots, snap peas, baby tomatoes, baby cucumbers, maybe an apple, some Greek yogurts, is I make sure, oh, is that loud? Hey Linda, nice to see you. I will try to make sure that, this is more when I'm traveling to the US, I stock my little fridge in the hotel, or I give myself a few options if I'm staying with someone, so that I'm not stuck. And that gives me freedom, right? It helps relax my mind, because as we know, one of the things that can be a trigger for so many people is the fear of being hungry. And so this way, if I've got those things prepared for me, I'm first of all not stuck on the snacks and treats that they bring out mid-session break. If you're in a conference or something like that, a lot of people have it tuned into offering healthier foods. And so you get the Nanaimo bars and the muffins and all of that stuff. And if you don't have another option, they become tempting. Hey, Tanya. So it's early for you too. Awesome. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? If there's nothing else there, or if you don't have a choice for something, you're going to take what's there. And that's because the little tiny bit of extra effort it takes to get planned is worth it. I've had clients go to Vegas of all places. And one client was super resourceful. She found a hotel that would pre-order groceries for her. So when she got to her hotel room, those things were already in the fridge for her. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm very mindful of alcohol when I'm out and traveling. I do enjoy the odd glass of wine or cocktail, but especially when I'm the facilitator, I want to be super sharp, super clear. But even as a participant in different things, or even with family members, there's something about one glass of wine or one cocktail. It's a lot different when you want 3 or 4. At that point, you need to ask yourself, what is it that why do you want that many drinks? What are you trying to kind of numb down and push down a little bit? For me, it could have been, anxiety about my workshop. Am I going to do a good job? Things like that. But I have my rules, right? So in the weight loss code, we talked a lot about, how do you create systems and strategies for yourself so you're not relying on emotional decision making in the moment. And my rule is 1 drink if I'm working, 2 at most if I'm out socially. And so I never have to think twice about it. I don't have to worry about making the decision in the moment. Does that help? Because, if you're traveling once a month or even twice a month or once every 2 months or going on vacation like we all do, right? It is possible to either maintain your weight or lose weight when you go on work trips or vacations. And so many women will find that they try so hard for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then they go on vacation and all that weight comes back because it's so easy. It is so easy to indulge, right? And so you just have to remember that indulgence can actually be a punishment, right? The indulgence is a faulty belief system. And so I guess I would say the next time you're going traveling, keep these tips in mind. Get water, pack an apple, get some veggies with you while you're going one way. Say no to some of the snacks and treats that they offer you on the plane. We don't need them, right? We really don't. And then when you get somewhere, know what your next step is, right? So yes, as we learned in the weight loss code, rules can be freedom, not the opposite, totally not the opposite. I'm at the airport right now watching all of the rules of these planes landing and the traffic control people directing them. And that's why we don't crash, right? There's rules to help us travel safely. And if you have rules to guide you, that's freedom, right? It allows you to be at choice with what you're doing. And I enjoyed, I enjoyed my time away. It was good. But when I ordered something for lunch yesterday, 2 servings, or how do I say it? 2 tacos came and I ate 1 because that's all I needed. So a lot of it's remembering that you need less than you think. Restaurant portions are huge. Share if you can. Decide to eat just half the minute that the food comes out. When you start to get that sense of being 80% full, push your plate away or to the side so it indicates to the server that you are done. And then you'll be able to not overeat. It can be just that simple. So I'm not going to make this too much longer because I know that there's going to be another loudspeaker announcement coming on soon. But my commitment is to be here every Monday at 12 p.m. sharing, wherever I am, tips, strategies that I use so that you can employ them into your life too. And so I'm pretty real life about it, as you can tell. And I want, it's one thing to have all the theory given to you, like do this, don't do that, or here's what the advice is. But to see it in action is a different thing. So yes, I like to have a structure. It means you don't have to make decisions all the time. Totally. And so even when I've got a little shopping list in my head for when I go traveling, especially if I'm staying in hotels and I'm like a participant in a program or something like that, or working one. And it's exactly what I said, it's veggies, Greek yogurt, some apples, things that I can enjoy, and not be panicking about finding food at the next restaurant. So thanks for watching.